It's the FFE. It's the FFE. It's the FFE. It's the FFE.
Speaking of
Music, please.
did you see the verses, the new verses? You see verses?
I know they're trying to put
Ian
a
Wright,
versus to-
Ian Wright, he was the DJ. Tim Davie was also the DJ, CEO of BBC.
Yeah.
And the verses was Gary Lineker versus the BBC.
Okay.
Did you see that verse?
I saw that.
Yeah, man, it's interesting.
That was actually one thing politically that I actually paid attention to.
Yeah, that's true.
I paid attention to it because I was like, right, this is something that I can, yes, this is something that I can relate to because, but set it up for the people then before we cook.
How did it start? I mean,
House of Commons, and they was doing the little shouting back and forth, and one of the subjects, as they do, and then one of the, because it's really a fish market, right, just with people in suits, and the topic of immigration came up, and what they're going to do in regards to illegal immigrants coming to the UK, and what they're going to do to stamp that down, clamp it down, and they were using some very interesting words and terminologies to the point where even the S word that ends in E, and it's a 5-letter word, even that came out. They slipped that in somehow, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. And then, as with anyone who has an account on a platform that has a logo of a bird, you get on there and you share your thoughts.
So, Gary Lineker sent a tweet out.
A tweet?
And the tweet read, "There is a huge influx. We take fewer refugees than other major European countries. This is just an immeasurably cruel policy directed at the most vulnerable people in language that is not dissimilar to that used by Germany in the 30s. Am I out of order?" And when I read it, I mean, when you read it, what did you think?
Initially, I was just like, cool, well, Gary, just like the other Gary, are very outspoken on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. Gary's getting his 2 cents out, and it's good to see someone using their platform. But that's it. I just took it as that, like, all right, Gary's just sharing his thoughts on it, and I kept it moving.
Same. I was just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Gary Lineker's on Twitter. If you follow him, because I do, he's just one of those Donnies that he speaks his mind.
He does. Yeah, in real time as well.
And keeps it a buck. So when I saw the backlash to the tweet, I was quite confused.
Yeah, I was blindsided, to be fair, because I didn't understand.
Okay, so now, impartiality and being partial is something in the media that seems to be a weird conversation.
It doesn't exist, man.
Okay, so it's like the BBC feel like, all right. Let me explain it this way. Was there impartiality or partiality with the whole Qatar thing with the World Cup?
No.
Okay. No, but the thing is, which is what grinds my gears about that conversation, is that they speak from such a high horse, man. Such a high horse.
Who does?
The media over here, when that World Cup got announced,
yeah.
when they said who's hosting it, and then when it was about to start, the weeks leading up, they was on such a high horse about why it should not be taking place there, human rights and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, all right, cool. We're all for human rights and, you know, making sure everyone's having a good life and everyone's treated as a human, etc. But
are we?
I think we are. I think majority of us want humans to be good, right?
I hear you, and I hear why.
Joe as well.
I hear you, and I hear why Joe asked the question.
Okay. Shit.
Are we really? That's what Joe's really saying.
Okay.
I'll keep it about. I'm pro my people and my people only.
Right. Fair enough. But you're not doing that at the expense of the rest of them can. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might be.
Well, Joe, let us know. Are you?
we don't know yet.
No, but I'm saying you don't have to. It's a similar case, so you don't have to bring one person down to elevate the other.
You know what it is? It's the pointing fingers. They love to point fingers at stuff that other people are doing, other countries' religions, other countries' policies, the way that other countries live their lives. But then when you start looking under the hood of England, you open up the bonnet and you look under their hood, pause, you go,
Hella pedophiles.
this hella nastiness going on.
This is the point I was getting to. You lot pointing fingers about the Qatar situation, right? But your backyard is nasty.
Horrible.
Like, you've just passed the law to have people get married at the age of 18.
Yeah.
You lot's backyard is nasty, but you want to be front street talking about other people's problems.
It's weird.
I just don't get it.
It's weird. And what they were saying about Gary Lineker's tweet was that he was equating Great Britain to the way that Germany was.
With the Nazi era.
Yeah, with the Nazi. And he was equating to that. But I was like, hold on a minute, wait. How I looked at what Gary was saying is the language that was used with regards to refugees,
asylum seekers
was a little bit sneaky. Yeah. So, for example, when they were talking about the Ukrainians, Ukrainians are let's get them over, help them out, blah blah blah. But when they're talking about the Assyrians and the Iraqis, they're rapists, they're murderers,
they're mass terrorists.
So where's the same energy for them?
Yeah, but we've
yeah.
We've seen this storybook many a time.
Yeah.
It's just annoying because they're the same people who probably be driving Tesla cars, but the people that mine for the minerals to make the batteries for the Tesla cars are not in the best working, living environment. But you're happy to drive the Tesla car because it's cool and it's fancy. You're cool with that. But the Qataris who have a certain way and culture where they're like, you know what, we don't agree with same-sex marriage, yada, 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 that's an issue. It's just like, no, don't be holier than thou when it suits you.
But that's what they like.
Yeah, of course. And it's just annoying. That's why I just leave them to it, bro.
And I respect Gary for calling it out. My thing is this is a question to you both. Is Gary the guy to carry us forward in terms of the kind of stuff that... Because clearly Gary's got his own political views on stuff. Do we look to Gary? Is Gary the guy to...
No, but it's anyone. No.
So we're saying... So what you're saying... Are you saying shut up, Gary, and just keep...
No. I'm saying
shut
Gary...
up and do match of the day, bruv. Get back to the studio with Ian Wright and keep it moving.
Gary was just... It's just someone who has a large platform.
Yeah.
And he said what he wants to say on his platform.
Yeah.
And it's just ironic that he is the one to be... It's almost they tried to use him as a distraction from what they actually were saying and doing in the House of Parliament. That was never highlighted once in this whole fiasco. They never said, hold on, let's go back and listen to what man like Rishi really said, which caused Gary to respond with that tweet. That was never done. It was just, Gary Lineker, and all these old, crusty, bogey-looking dons that are coming out of the woodwork.
Carcass Mountain dons.
Yeah, how can he compare my England to what he was saying about them Nazis? I'm not having that. You can tell Gary Lineker to shut his mouth. And when I see him, I'm going to have some words for him. I'm like, who the fuck are you, Tony? Fucking, what?
That's a good accent.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought you... I kind of felt like the racism there.
Yeah. It was coming. I had to bottle it back in because I see it. I was like, "What? It's getting a bit. I'm sounding a bit too authentic." That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
I swear on a podcast. I swear on a podcast.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
You did that well.
And it was just like mad. And it's like you're missing the point. You're shooting the message. You're shooting the messenger, and you're not shooting the source of the message. Go and let's listen to what Rishi said.
The thing about it is, we're in a cost of living crisis. They're trying to distract us from certain things.
Everything, bro.
It's peak out here, and you lot are trying to tell me about what Gary Lineker said in the tweet. Are you lot taking a piss?
However, it is refreshing to see that when someone uses their platform to say something, and instead of backtracking, they double down on it to the point where they're like, you know what, I'm just going to take this weekend off.
You know, You know what it is? It was refreshing for someone Wyatt to catch some flack. That was that was refreshing for me. I was like,
and Gary,
I was like, Gary, he's white. He's white. You know, they came for Gary.
And then Unc stepped in.
Yeah.
Because they thought, well, Gary's not going to present match of the day.
Yeah.
Let's get Unks in. Everyone's favourite uncle. Yeah. And Ian was like, listen, rude boy.
Fuck out of here.
Thank you very much. And Ali was like, all right, well, Alan would do it. And I was like, sorry, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
If them two ain't there, I ain't going.
Yeah, Alan said, nah, man.
And then I see people saying about Jermaine Genius. No one's asking for Jermaine Genius to host nothing.
Jermaine Genius?
Bruv, it goes Gary, Uncle Ian, Shearer. That's the Trinity. Outside of that, give me a little Alex Scott. I would have taken the Alex Scott, but she stood her ground in her nice pretty toes and said no.
Yeah.
Cool. After her, I would have taken Mika, but Mika was like, nah, that's not her role. I'm not. What? Uncle says not going.
But don't you think like by the time it got down to that pecking order, you couldn't go against the grain, even if you wanted, even if it was like, yeah, come and get this check. You can't. You can't now.
You can't.
Yeah, because the heads.
Once you get past Alex Scott.
Yeah, the heads are like, nah, mate.
You can't.
No.
And
so what do you think they're gonna do? Because
they're gonna be back. Well, as far as I'm aware, they would have been back last Saturday to do the thing.
Right.
Yeah. So normal service has resumed.
Right.
Now the funny thing
is this a win?
I think it's a win for the crew. Everyone that's associated and worked with Gary Lineker and his crew, because if you think about it, they then said, there was a report that said our viewership went up for Match of the Day by like 500,000 or something like that.
What?
People checking
to see if
but it's not. Obviously, they try to spin it to make it a positive. No. It's not a positive, it's a negative. Because people weren't tuning in to watch Match of the Day. No. They were tuning in to see what the clusterfuck was going to look like with like presenters. And I checked it for a couple of seconds. I was like, I can't do this. This is mad. Like, FIFA was giving me better commentary and stuff than this is mad. And I just cut it off.
What you got to check, though, is as you said, leading on from that, is BBC, like, they're losing their viewership and everything. And they're not as popular as they used to be. And I feel like what they did contractually with Gary Lineker was they gave him a lot more leverage, which I don't know now if they will change his contract in any way. But I don't. If I know Gary, he's still gonna say what he wants to say. So,
yeah, they're gonna have some social media like parameters and stuff now moving forward. And you know, understandably, if you are the face of a thing, an institute, Match of the Day is an institute because not everyone has access to internet, not everyone has access to Sky, BT Sports, etc. So Match of the Day is their weekly summary of the football, what's going on.
Yep.
But Gary's in a great position because what are they going to do? You're going to fire him? You can't fire him.
Exactly.
Because any other sport will want to pick. He'll have a queue of people like, yeah, Gary, do you mind come work with us? Boop, boop. Do you hear that? You hear that outside, Gary? Yeah, that's a dumper truck full of money coming out your house to sign you. They can't. He's got them with their pants down.
Do you think now as well, though, and I kind of looked at it when I saw the whole thing unfold, is that social media and podcasts and things of that nature are becoming the new media, where people now are not so much relying on the old guard, the old institutions.
Our shit is unfiltered.
Yeah,
it's raw and uncut. Yeah, it's the best cocaine on the market.
And I feel like
I'm saying, Morgs,
someone like 100%, and I feel like someone like Gary Lineker, who's outspoken and who feels some type of way, he should be allowed to. Like, I don't find it. Like, if you find a problem with what he's saying, is because you got the problem. It's not nothing to do. If we know that Gary Lineker and the common people know what Gary Lineker is saying is true.
Yeah.
What is these institutions been trying to do or trying to do now? They're trying to cover shit up. They're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. They're trying to, no, you can't talk about that because you're exposing us. Like, it's weird, bruv, man.
Someone's got to do it.
Well, I say salute to Gary Lineker anyway.
Each and every time.
Do your thing. I can't wait to see you back on the TV. Well, I haven't been watching Match of the Day for certain reasons anyway. But
some reason why?
Yeah, it's peak, man. It's peak. But intermission period 1.
You look up, understand. You're in the dark with the sharks. It's a bloodbath. We got the mics. It's a fight. Had a tough start.